Hey, welcome back to Afrosport now in focus. And in the first part, we'll get talking about the Super Eagles. And of course, we know how things panned out when they lost to the Amavubi of Rwanda 2-1. It ended. Samuel Chukwueze put us ahead, but then we fell behind in the second half to two quick fire goals in just about 2 minutes, conceding two goals while the Amavubi held on to win that one. Of course, it happened at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. We've got to reflect on that game and also the entirety of our qualifying campaign. A spot has been booked for Morocco, by the way, and Super Eagles will feature at the African Cup of Nations in 2025. Now, to reflect with me on the show is Kunle Solaja, as the Vice President and also Editor-in-Chief of Extra Time Communication Limited. Great to have you on the show as always, Kunle.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being with you.
Yeah, and of course, the talk of the town is not the great one. The Super Eagles lost the 2-1 to Rwanda. First, I would like to take your quick reaction to that game.
Well, honestly, I would say that was a disaster that waited to happen. Those I discussed the match with before the match was played. I actually told them that it will not be a surprise if we were shocked in that match. And that really happened. One, there is one we must not forget to talk about. And the fact is that the Nigeria Super Eagles is a very, very unreliable squad. Unreliable in the sense that you cannot really place your bet on that thing to achieve anything under the current dispensation. They may have the best assembly of stars, but stringing that squad into one strong unit has been a very, very difficult task. And it is only the Nigeria national team that I see that players come into camp as if they are going for a picnic, not for a serious assignment. They stay in the biggest hotel you can ever think of in the southern part of Nigeria. They stay in the Kotekene, in a very big hotel, which can accommodate over 1,000 guests at one time. A team is not supposed to be in that kind of hotel. You go into a medium-sized hotel where you can take absolute control of the facility for the period in which you are. So the hotel they are camping has been very poor, and you will see many people invading that camp, YouTuber, content providers, all of them provide a very, very good distraction to a team. I am sure if you ask those players, such things will never happen in their various clubs, let alone in the national team of the countries where they are playing. The players know that. But it is to their advantage that they have a loose camp where anything can happen. Until and when the owners of the Super Eagles brand, which is the Nigerian Football Federation, decide to take a very decisive action on this, we will continue to fall down, even at the time we hope we could be running. And I tell you, I am sure this is the opinion of most football followers in the country. For us to qualify for the World Cup, we need to win all our 6 matches without dropping a single point. And you know that is a very, very big, a very big question. Two of those teams we are meeting, at least between Benin Republic and Rwanda, we have 3 matches. And if we've been unable to win convincingly in the tie with the two states, it is doubtful if we will be able to achieve that in World Cup qualifying. Is this That's just the tragedy in which we are? We play against Rwanda, in which 6 points were at stake. We were only able to scrape one out of six, and that tells volume about the national team of Nigeria.
Well, then, let's look at how the team fared in the group. We know that they finished atop the group. Yeah, of course. And that also meant that we booked qualification to Morocco. as you can see on the screen, 11 points. The Super Eagles of Nigeria had, and then Benin Republic 8 points. Rwanda also had 8 points, but then goal difference was the ultimate decider in who qualified in both things, and that for Benin Republic was the reason they qualified. And then Libya 5 points, and rock bottom of the table as well. But in what you can give as a fair assessment, what would you make of the performance of the Super Eagles in the entirety of the qualifiers?
It would not have been something that one cannot even predict that if the Super Eagles had ended that group with 18 points, that is winning all the 6 matches. I mean, considering the level of opposition they have. If you remember when the World Cup draw was made, Nigeria had the easiest draw. Apart from South Africa that was seen as a threat to us, all the other teams were seen as nearly victim. We were struggling. And among the 6 teams, we are fifth. And Rwanda, that beat us on our own soil yesterday, is one of those teams in our group. And currently, Rwanda are the top of that group. That is the World Cup qualifying. So I mean, if we had won convincingly, that would have really helped the public confidence. In, you a time was when the Nigerian Super Eagles were playing, then they travel from far and wide to go and watch them. But right now, you have to make a lot of campaign, a lot of public relation appeal to the public for them to go and watch the Super Eagles. That tells you the level to which that team has sunk. And the earlier we begin on rebuilding and reshaping the minds of our players, because those players look bigger than even the owners of the brand, the Nigeria Football Federation. It appears the players can dictate what they want at any given time to the Nigerian Football Federation. Go and meet somebody like Clemens Westaples. He will tell you how to build a team and how he built the so-called the golden generation of the Super Eagles. As at that time, that team didn't have the array of stars playing in top fields of Europe as we have now. They were just at middle-level clubs in Europe and some of them in Africa. But through good management, through good handling, they were able to build a very strong squad. And that is what we are lacking now. And that is what the President of the Nigerian Football Federation to attempt to do. I had a one-on-one interview with Clemens Westerhoff, and he told me, say, from the beginning, he knew the Nigerian team, football team, and the Nigerian Football Association, as it was called then, was poorly organized.
Mm.
And he decided that he was going to build a good team. How did he start? First and foremost, he said he wanted Samson Siasia as his main striker. Before he discovered or he saw Rashidi Yekini in play. What did he do? So he had Rashidi Yekini, he had Samson Siasia, he had Amokati. The three of them good strikers, but he assigned roles to them.
Mm.
One will be the lead striker, Siasia to back Rashidi Yekini up from the right, and then Amokati to back him up from the left. That way they were able to combine and they scored flawlessly. But now you have an assembly of even greater strikers who shake the fields of Europe, yet you are unable to string them together as a team. I mean, as a team, everybody's on his own, just trying to do his own magic, and in the end, that is to the detriment of the Nigerian national
And
football team.
Kunle, this is
So
one
I
aspect
don't.
we need to talk about for Victor Boniface, who is still without an international goal for Super Eagles of Nigeria. What do you make of that? I mean, he scores goals almost every week for Bayer Leverkusen, but in the colours of the Super Eagles, some are already deeming him as a flop.
Well, that is part of what I am saying. You assign a role in this club, they assign role for him. He may have been the lead striker in this club, But here, we just like going to the market, a woman going to the market to buy condiments for stew. You have to know the right proportion of those condiments to make a delicious meal. You don't just put the salt, the pepper, the tomato, and everything. Just in no specific measure, just put all of them in the pot. That will be a sour soup. And that is what is happening in our national team now. You just have an array of staff, but you don't have specific rule and give specific instruction to the players and ask them to play to instruction. Even if you are getting results and they are not playing to your instruction, you have the coach has the ability to tell them that this is what I want. The same thing happened to Clemens Westerhoff and Samson Siasia. If you still miss Clemens Westerhoff today, he will still make reference to that May 2, 1993 match in which Samson Siasia was supposed to flick a pass to Nigeria Yekini and Nigeria would have been 2 goals up and he missed that chance. Okay now, because and the coach is still living with anger anytime you meet him and mention make reference to that. So that means the coach has a focus. He knew what he wanted. And he said for every position, he must have 2 players. That is, there must be a backup. And apart from that, he told me that he felt because the bulk of his players were based abroad, he said he cannot take that luxury. He decided to build another home-based national team. As at that time, don't forget, there was nothing like Chan. But he said he needed that in case there's a problem, one way or the other, he will still get a local content to fulfill his obligation as a national team coach. But right now, you just have to cross to the neighboring Benin Republic to be able to qualify for invitation in the national team. We play our league day in, day out. Is it that the Nigerian league is so bereft of players that nobody ever think of? Let us see what we can do. Even
Now,
if we
Kunle,
are not
these are
satisfied,
coaching
I will
concerns that you're mentioning, Kunle, quite obviously.
yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about the position of the head coach of the Super Eagles. Now, do we need a new head coach, or do you want us to continue trusting the consortium led by Austin Eguavon?
Personally, the consultant will not work. That has been my opinion. And so, I mean, sad enough, people will see one as being unpatriotic. Virtually all the members of that consultant is personally knowing, and they are my friends. But give, I mean, if you add 2 plus 2 together, you don't always get 4. The players appears to be bigger than them and they probably want to be in the good books of the players by not trying to rock the boat. And unfortunately, somebody like a Guavon was a star, a superstar in the Super Eagles, played at the World Cup. At least he went to 2 World Cup competitions, USA 94, France 38. So there's no player that should look down at somebody like a Guavon. And the Guavon should also be manly enough to tell a player there is nothing you are achieving that I have not achieved. I have also played at the highest level and I've also handled this game before. This is not my first national assignment. I've also handled the national 2 teams. So he has all the only thing that he needs to be more courageous.
Okay, quite interesting. A lot of question marks for the Nigerian Football Federation to answer to. But now we'll take a break. We will have to cross over to West African neighbors, Ghana, who also are in a very difficult position at the moment. We'll take a break and we'll come back shortly after this.